Hi from Missouri, everybody. My name's Miranda Kleins, and this is my portfolio presentation. I just want to give a heads up apology. I've got a black lab puppy, and she is currently right here growling at me because I'm not playing with her. I've tried to keep her quiet, and we'll see if it works. She may pop in and give us a surprise appearance by jumping up on my desk here. So, anyways, alrighty, here's what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at the two competencies I chose, which was number 1 and number 2. I had a hard time. I couldn't just pick one, guys, so we're going with 2. The artifacts I chose to support my knowledge or, demonstrate my knowledge, and then the real world application, so what I learned in boating school. Alrighty, looking first at the first standard. This is all about understanding child development and how kiddos learn. So understanding normative development and then how trauma specifically pushes pause on that progress or can delay that development. And so understanding those influences and how it really affects our kiddos when they're in our classroom. And then using that knowledge, taking what we've learned from this class and all of our other classes, and applying it to creating a center, a classroom, a what have you, that's respectful, supportive, and that acknowledges that all of our kiddos are experiencing different things in life. So not just death and divorce, but other forms of adversity. The second standard I chose was number 2, so building of that family and community relationships. The reason I picked this one is because something I talked about a lot in my essay is that development doesn't happen in a vacuum. Our kids and our parents, they're almost synonymous, right? They're all part of the same family unit, and therefore we need to really be focusing our efforts on the unit, not just the kiddos. Because if we're leaving out the parent piece, we're really ignoring a very, very crucial part of a child's development. Because they're going to spend a ton of time with their parents, right? They're only with us for a couple of years. They're with their parents forever. So understanding that every family's different, that every family's unique, and how to support them in our community, and making sure that we can create those good connections with community supports, get our families connected with people they need to, and how to really make sure that learning continues outside of the classroom. Alrighty, so let's look next at my artifacts. I chose artifact number 1. I chose the PATHS curriculum as my first artifact. So I was first introduced to PATHS when I was a Head Start teacher, and I'm gonna be real, guys. When I first learned about it, I was like, ooh, this is a little hippy dippy for my liking. You have to remember, us Midwesterners, we're not used to all this touchy feely. Let's talk about our emotions. So when I first learned about it, I was a little hesitant. However, really diving in, I saw that the kids loved it. And it was such an intuitive model to talk to kids about their emotions and how to manage them, right? And that's such an important part of being resilient and overcoming that trauma. So I love PATHS. If y'all haven't checked it out, it's great. Twiggles, the main character here, he's got all of these books that he talks to kids about different situations he's in and what emotions he's feeling and how to deal with it. And the best part about PATHS is there are take-home activities, right? So that learning doesn't just end in the classroom. It goes home with the kiddos, which I love. So artifact number 1. Artifact number 2, I have a timer there for whatever reason. Don't know what that was about, but anyways, artifact number 2 was my signature essay. So in writing the essay, that was a beast of a paper, right? Huge, took forever. But anyway, in writing it, I was learning all about how to support kiddos and their families. Again, development not happening in a vacuum. So really looking at the whole family. How can we bring our kiddos together? How is this not only, affecting their development? How is their parents' behavior affecting them? So signature essay. So let's ask the question. Do my artifacts demonstrate knowledge of the NAEYC standards? Well, let's go through them. So first, let's look at PATHS, right? For standard 1. It gives us an understanding of the kiddos' needs, of their developmental milestones. So check to number 1. It creates an understanding that there are lots of different influences playing in our children's lives, right? There are lots of different situations they're getting into that are going to affect their development and affect their ability to be, present learners in our classroom. So check. Oh, I got ahead of myself and I checked that third one, but it's because we know that paths not only focuses on the kiddos, it focuses on the families. And if you look back here, it's got an instructor's manual. So it teaches the teacher how to create that environment to really set up learning for our kiddos to help promote these. This paths curriculum, it comes with posters you can hang up, stickers, charts. It's got a lot of good stuff. So yes, paths does demonstrate that knowledge. Okay, my essay. Again, whew, guys, it was such a big essay. I never thought I'd finish, and I was like, I'm just going to quit grad school. But here I am. We made it through. Huzzah. Okay, so asking ourselves the question about standard number 2. Does the essay create a situation where we know and understand how diverse our families are and that we really need to have those community partners? Yes, we do know that. During the essay, we talked about obviously with death and divorce, different parenting, different family makeups, right? So single family, dual parent households. One thing that I was intrigued on, and I really couldn't find a ton of research on it, and I think it's something that when I talk to some of my coworkers and some other professionals in the field, really does seem to be lacking, was how death and divorce is affecting children of LGBTQ plus families. And I mean, when we think about it, right, it's intuitive. We understand why it probably doesn't exist. It's only been legal for a couple of years. But I thought that was a really good area that I would like to learn more on. So we'll save that for, I guess, next slide when we talk about real-world applications. Anyways, in the essay, we also talked about how to support these families through their times of crisis, through their times of adversity. So, yep, good building relationships. The third one, how to involve families and communities. Yep, we talked about the importance of building those connections, those community partnerships, and then hooking our families up with things that they might need in their time of adversity. So yes, the artifacts demonstrate knowledge of both the standards. Yay, jazz hands! Also, fun fact, I'm fluent in American Sign Language, and this is how you clap in sign language. So congrats, you learned that too. Okay, so the real world. What does all of this matter, right? We just spent all of this time learning how am I going to take it out into the real world and apply it. Well, the biggest takeaway I got from this class was that trauma doesn't prevent us from becoming happy and healthy adults, but kiddos have to have support in order to persevere. And without that support, they're just left to their own devices. I really delved into the Harvard School of Education and the Developing Child Institute, where they talked about the importance of parents and educators in building a child's resiliency. And they really just have so many great resources there. I really suggest y'all check it out. But they talked about how without adults, like, kids just can't do it. We've got to teach them. We've got to learn. We don't come out of the womb knowing this stuff. So that was my takeaway, is we've got to be there. We've got to put in the work, and we've got to help our kiddos through. Alrighty, well, that's about it for me. If you stay tuned, you can look at my 5 pages of references. I have them on a Word document from my practicum paper because they wouldn't all fit here. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, this is Miranda Kleins, and let's pop over. Here are the references. Boop, 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 boop. Thanks for sticking around with us. Thanks for putting up with my dog who barked at us at least once and my cats who are meowing in the background. Again, I apologize. I basically live in a zoo. All right, bye.